I have no idea what is going on. It is April and snowing. Unacceptable. I'll have some more global warming, please. Take us back. Today's video is brought to you by the Modern Gun School. This is not the other place that thinks that they can take your entire GI Bill and run with it. This is an accredited online university. Whether you just want to learn a few things or you actually want to break into the firearms space, they leave you with options. Check them out at Modern Gun School. Let's get into the video. You guys have seen it across the internet. Late last night, on my way home from the office, I received word that Kash Patel has rescinded the zero tolerance policy at the ATF. For those of you who don't know what that means, the Biden administration decided that the best way to go after your rights was to attack the people who were actually under their purview, which was the federal firearms licensees. Basically, for decades, it has been, if you make a small paperwork error or something like that, as long as they're not habitual errors and it is indicative of some kind of malfeasance, then they help you correct the errors in your paperwork, make sure that all your stuff is on the level so that there's an accurate record and all that sort of stuff, and then you just go about your business. Well, under the Biden administration, and we've done multiple videos on this, we're talking thousands of percents increase in the number of closures of FFLs during their time. So they basically decided that to reach you, they were going after your gun dealer. That's what they did. And they closed a whole bunch of folks over spelling people's names wrong or something like that. And that was really bad. It really was. Well, that rule has now been, or excuse me, it wasn't a rule, it was a policy at the ATF that has now been rescinded. And this is a good thing. However, I put up a poll about this, and I think that it really speaks for itself. So I'm not going to scream and shout and jump up and down today. I had blood drawn this morning, and I had to be fasted for it, and that means that I have not even had my coffee yet this morning. So I have not really reached full charge, shall we say. We're not going to get out the scorecard today, because, well, quite frankly, I ran out of room and I haven't reformatted it because of all the negative stuff that they've been doing for the Second Amendment lately. So, but this is a move in the right direction. But I think that the poll speaks for itself. This was a stroke of a pen, right? This is something that he talked about on the campaign trail. He said that he was going to do first week, first day, something like that. And it's been 3 months. So again, the poll says it as succinctly as I possibly can. Should have been done a long time ago. And this baby step stuff, feeding a little bit, that doesn't work for us in the Second Amendment community. You don't get to milk this, every other week. That doesn't work for us. You need to do something, and you need to do something big. And there's a whole list of stuff. We did not elect you to go and baby step this thing over the course of months and milk the heck out of it. We elected you to show up and smash it with a sledgehammer 3 months ago. So we're not going to say positive or negative on this one. We're just going to leave that one off. And then the real news that I wanted to talk about today, while that is a positive improvement, we have word from the Firearms Policy Coalition, and they had a meeting with the administration, and they are hinting that there may be a real Second Amendment czar position being considered. And I would like to put my name in the hat as someone who I think has the line really well defined on where you ought to be. I would like to be considered for the Second Amendment czar position, sir, because you clearly need help, lots of it. And then the second thing that they have hinted at, the Firearms Policy Coalition, is that there may be an initiative spooling up to create an office of First and Second Amendment consideration at the Department of Justice. So basically, hey, Who is violating people's First and Second Amendment rights out there? We need to go figure that out and investigate and hopefully charge that. I mean, I know that we talk a lot about the Second Amendment here, but when it comes to the First Amendment, I'm pretty sure that all of you have at some point or another come across some kind of censorship online, some kind of curtailing of your First Amendment rights. So that is big, big news. And I'm telling you, to this day on YouTube, there are things that you still can't talk about. There are content controls in place that prevent you from talking about certain things in certain ways. And I would very, very much like to see the Department of Justice go and investigate the violation of Americans' First and Second Amendment rights as real crimes. That's something that needs to happen, because you want to talk about fixing the status quo as it currently exists in the free speech sphere and the Second Amendment sphere. That's how you get it done. You want to stop rogue officials from going out there and just continuously running lawfare against the American citizen. You put that politician in jail, and that will stop it. There's not a whole lot of people that will do some kind of political activism. You saw it with the people who are out there keying the Teslas. There's a way to make it stop, and this is the way to make it stop. Now, the other thing they floated in that press release at Firearms Policy Coalition is that they're also looking at serious NFA reforms, and I don't know what that means. I think that we all know what we want that to mean, but that still requires an act of Congress. So unless they're going to have some kind of agenda, some legislative agenda, which would be nice to see from the Trump administration, that would be great. Unless we see something like that, I'm not sure what NFA reforms really mean from an executive perspective. Now, they can play with some stuff internally, but as far as like getting rid of it, that'll take an act of Congress. Anyway, short video today. Just wanted to appraise you of the situation. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see another one here pretty soon. What say you in the comment section down below? And to the Trump administration, all three of those things that FPC talked about, you should do those things. Those are good steps to coming back.